Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And today we're going to talk about stocks on Sunday. And there could be a great opportunity coming up in the stock market. We have one of the world's great investors sitting in a record pile of cash. What could that tell us? There could be some great levels to buy. We're going to cover that and a whole lot more. So before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments. Thank you so much for those who take the time to do that, and those of you ask questions in the comments section. I do get back to those as soon as possible. However, if you'd like more immediate engagement and interaction, you can find me in the Discords. The Tribal Trades Discord is currently closed, but you can email to get on the wait list. That's found in the description of this video. Just click the little more part and that will pop it open. But I'm also in the Stocks with Josh Discord. I have my own Crown Traders channel in there where I share education, insights, some trade setups, and of course, entertainment. You knew it was coming because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? Okay. And so let's jump into that news here that we have Berkshire Hathaway, led by Warren Buffett, is sitting on a record $330 billion of cash. It's not a sign of confidence when one of the greatest investors of all time is converting to cash. It's clear that Warren Buffett thinks stocks are overvalued, and even the Bank of America, 60% of bearish signals in the stock market have been triggered. Once this hits 70%, a market peak could just be around the corner, and that was late in February, and look what is shaking out in March. Okay, now I do have a cheat sheet. You can find this in the Discord, and these were some of the trades that I have given, and these were some great trades. As we saw, the Palantir trade that was given, this trade was given back on, let's have a quick look here, show edit history, back on September the 8th when Palantir was around $30, and that went all the way up to $123. So if you've been trading these levels there and these entry levels that I gave, some of these entries didn't get hit, and some of these, Microsoft I think was about the only one that just really did nothing there on that one. But you can see most of them significant gains. Look at the SoundHound entry all the way up to $23. We had Tesla go up to $450. We also had a nice move from NVIDIA. MicroStrategy, huge move from the entry I gave on MicroStrategy there. That level was given all the way back in August the 8th. Look at the price, August 8th. I'm showing the receipts there so you can see how accurately I have also called the stock market as well as crypto there. And Meta, I gave this at $460 and it went all the way up to $730. I actually got out at around $700 when Josh called the top on that one. Well, pretty close to the top. And then, of course, Coinbase gave some great trades in there. Look at these trades here that were given. If we show the history there, yes, September the 7th there for these entries here. So showing all the receipts of these trades that were given back there, and we saw some incredible gains for Coinbase as well. Amazon, ASTS, and also Apple with some small gains there as well. Now, actually Meta, because I started this channel back in May of 2024, so haven't been streaming for very long. So I appreciate every single one of you who tune in daily, smash the like, leave a comment, and continue to encourage. You guys are incredible, and that's what makes this community, the Tribal Trades community, so special. I appreciate you. And so the Meta trade actually, and I'll have to get a screenshot of this, where I got in around this level here. Of course, what was a good signal, as I've shared on Bitcoin, the 50-week moving average. Once we, a couple of goes below it, but once we have these kind of shots and down we go, even the 50 EMA on the weekly, and we saw a capitulation. Now, I was able to pick up some around this level. I actually have to find the receipts for that to show that, and I'll post it on my X account, and then maybe I can share that on the next stock show. And I got in around this level, and I diamond-handed that trade. Now, of course, I got in on the other trade that I gave from 400 on Meta up to 700. That's still a great trade. I diamond-handed that for a few years all the way up to, all the way up to, as you can see, I got out just around here. Josh gave a bit of a top signal here, and I got out on that trade. I was like, yep, it's time to sell. I've held it for a long time. It's time to get out. Now, of course, I'm going to show a few little entries here that could be possible, but we could not have seen the most of the downside that there is to show. So we're going to jump through just a few stocks very quickly here to give a few levels to watch for on the downside. Now, usually what I look for are the 200-day moving average, the 50 EMA, and the 50 weekly moving average. These can be good areas to collect around that 220 to 226, but also the 200 EMA on the daily, which also happens to be around that level. And we have a double here of the 200-day moving average and the 200 EMA on the daily sitting around 225 to 226. This is an entry right here if we lose the 100 EMA on the daily there. Now, obviously, we hold these levels. It does look like they are coming down. We are about to see, this would be quite bearish, the 20 EMA, the light purple, cross below the dark purple, 50 EMA. That's usually a bearish signal, and usually we're going to see some more downside. I would not be surprised if we saw Apple come down to these levels. That's where I'm looking and prepared to buy. Otherwise, the 50-week moving average can be an entry there. Of course, if we were to lose that, we saw what happened with Meta. There was more of a capitulation to the downside on that one there. Let's have a look at Amazon. And Amazon, I will be updating all of this on the cheat sheet, by the way. So make sure that you're signed up in the Discord. There is a new cheat sheet there, just exclusive for the Discord. This regular cheat sheet that I've had, I'll keep that available, and there'll be lots of resources on there as well. But just make sure you have access to cheat sheet 2.0. Okay, so what we see here is Amazon actually has hit those levels. So you see Amazon had the 200-day moving average, 200 EMA, and the 200-day moving average there. And we also have the 50-week moving average at 196. So this could be a little area here to accumulate, but also set your stops to get out. We could see a real drop to the downside. Let's look on the weekly, and you can see the 50 EMA is there also. So that could lead us to some real heavy drop to the downside, maybe even as low as this will be coming up. Obviously, that 100 EMA on the daily up on the weekly. Sorry, 100 EMA on the weekly. And so that could be an area there, but just watch out. And of course, these could be fantastic buying opportunities if tariff trade wars finish. Obviously, I've got my views of why I think liquidity is being sucked out of the market. People are going risk off because of the trade tariff wars, I should say, the trade tariff wars, but also I think Doge has sucked a lot of liquidity out of the market, has cut back on government spending. I think this will cause inflation to eventually come down. Maybe with the tariffs, there might be a little bit longer that we have to put up with that, with this lingering inflation. But I think we'll see the effects of Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, come in, and we're really going to see some of that government spending pulled back. And some of those layoffs and some of those other things the government is cutting back on is really going to pull liquidity out of the markets. And this is what we're seeing right here. Now, let's jump to Coinbase. So Coinbase, really, we're down there with Coinbase. Again, this is the 100 EMA on the weekly time frame. We've already lost the 50 weekly moving average and the 200-day. That's about to cross over each other, actually, which isn't what we want to see. And so this is actually looking quite bearish. And so if we don't see a turnaround in the market, we could really come down and see this 160 level get tagged again. If we look at even on the daily time frame, there it is there, the 200 weekly moving average at 160. So if we lose this level here, which is 213 on Coinbase, we could see quite a sharp drop to come down there. There is obviously some Lux algo there that we might see a little bit of buy up. Maybe we won't quite get to there, but this could be a good area to reaccumulate. Of course, if the bull market is over, you have to be very careful with Coinbase. This could just continue to go down. I don't think it is, but certainly we could see more correction anyway. Google doing it tough, it lost the 50 EMA on the weekly. Now it's coming up. This white line here is the 50-week moving average. If we reject there and on the 200 EMA on the daily, we could see some more further moves to the downside there, of course, and that could be pretty tough. Again, down here at the 100 EMA on the weekly, we have that 164 and that 156 level, but we could see some further moves to the downside, even down as low as 136. Okay, I know this sounds very bearish, and I'm not predicting that it's going to go there. Of course, anything can happen next week with this administration, with all kinds of different things happening. These tariffs could all in a moment end, or they could all in a moment just escalate, and that could really bring in some generational wealth buying opportunities. And I just want you to be prepared. I want you to be prepared with buys, and I call them my cheeky bids, because that's how that Meta got filled with a cheeky bid. I also picked up Coinbase at around $60, and some of the other stocks very, very low, because I was prepared to buy that peak fear and to buy these levels that were down here. So really look out for these levels for Google. We could see a really big retracement all the way down there to 135 if these tariff wars continue. If there are rate cuts, of course, if there are no rate cuts, it doesn't look like there's going to be a rate cut in March, and so we might have to wait till May or June. Fed Powell just said on Friday he's not looking at any rate cuts at this moment. So unless something happens pretty big between now and then to force their hand, I would expect the market could be in pain a little bit longer there. Okay, and of course, Doge hasn't finished all its cost cutting. If we come down to Meta, of course, I would be waiting on this one. And of course, we have the 50 EMA and the 50-week moving average down here. But of course, I think this is still very, very heavily overvalued. And this is one that I'm not looking for entries at the moment. Of course, this would be the area there, which is the 50-week moving average, the 200-day moving average. And where's the 200 EMA and the daily is actually down there as well. So that 575 level could actually work out to be okay. This area here between 554 and 575. But if we lose there at 555, the 50-week moving average, be prepared to stop out. We could plummet fairly heavily there. We'll jump into MicroStrategy because I know a lot of people are interested in MicroStrategy. And what did I say? I actually gave this trade in the Discord at 2:30. People go, oh, should I buy MicroStrategy up there? Heck no, no, absolutely not. Here, yes, the 200-day on the daily and the 200-day moving average. We got the 50-week moving average there at 223. Obviously, if we were to lose these levels, be prepared to stop out. If we lose that 223, I showed you what happened to Meta. When Meta lost the 50-week moving average, it capitulated. Watch this white line, the line in the sand there. NVIDIA, we'll cover a couple of more here, and then we'll wrap it up. I think we'll do NVIDIA and Palantir here. And we see that NVIDIA has already lost the 50-week moving average, okay? So right now, the level to get in is at 107. If we lose 107, then we'd be looking for lower levels. What are some lower levels there? Down here at the 100 EMA on the weekly time frame, around 93. And then a more severe drop is going to bring in 66 and $53. And don't think that it can't get there if these tariff wars continue, if rate cuts don't get cut. What the market is looking for, it's looking for some rate cuts. It's looking for liquidity that they can borrow at lower interest rates. And then obviously we're looking for quantitative easing. We aren't seeing that right now, although it looks like quantitative tightening has finished. So we're in a little bit of, possibly in a little bit of a pause there for that. And so be careful with NVIDIA. This will be the line here. If we lose that, then there are the levels 94, 66, and 52 that are there. Obviously, if we can reclaim the 50-week moving average sitting at 121, there could be some nice upside. And sometimes you take entries to the upside, like the 200 EMA on the dailies at 121. So that level there, a break above and a retest, that could be a nice little area. But there is a lot of resistance to get in there. Okay, we're going to finish off with Palantir here. And we have seen parabolic move. As you saw, I gave that trade back at $30, somewhere back here in September. I showed you the receipts on that. So if you've been following that channel, you would have made epic gains watching this channel and following the cheat sheet. That's why I call it the cheat sheet. Right now, it's not a bad place. There at 77. And I gave that in the Discord there at 77 that you could get in on that trade. But if we lose that trade, there is a fair amount of support to the downside. The 50-week is not down until 47. So I usually go to the daily time frame because there is so much support on the weekly. And we do see that 77 level with the 100-day on the daily and the 100-day moving average sitting there between 72 and $75. So around that $72 to $77 could be, but if we lose those levels there, we got some Fibonacci's, that's that 200 EMA on the daily at 60, and the 200-day moving average at 51, and then our line in the sand for Palantir, $47 on the 50-week moving average, okay? I'm going to update all of those levels and more in the cheat sheet. That's cheat sheet 2.0, which will be available in the Discord. So make sure that you're part of the Discord, part of the community, whether it be the Tribal Trades Discord or the Stocks with Josh Discord. I hope to see you in there. And until then, or until the next episode, happy trading.